Live at Lunch is produced by KRFC 88.9 FM in the Ginger and Baker Studio in Fort Collins, Colorado, and supported by the Music District, a music-centric gathering place to cultivate talents, support professional development, and encourage connections. Welcome to Live at Lunch. I'm your host today, David V., and I am very happy today to be able to let you know that we have special guest today, Cactus Cat.
in the moonlight. You can tell that there's something that's not quite right. Feel the weight of the world dripping off me. Fly away as I turn into memory.
All right, Cactus Cat here on Live at Lunch. Aaron, Mackenzie, and we've got Stephen, Ian, and Ben all in the band here. From Fort Collins, huh? Currently?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, not originally, but I mean, not individually.
Right.
But Fort Collins as a band.
Well, Aaron, you're the original member of the band, the one remaining original member of the band over the years. The other ones have filled in. And
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so kind of started Cactus Cat in a garage. It was initially a 4-piece instrumental surf rock band and has changed. Kins has probably been with us the longest. Started singing, coming on once to sing Valerie, pretty much every set, maybe like our second or third show. And the rest of these guys have slowly filtered in over the years. I went through a pretty big lineup transformation during COVID. That's when Steven joined. Ian joined shortly after, and this is actually Ben's first show with us.
All right.
So, no pressure.
So, how would you classify your music? It's kind of like, you said you started out surf. I get a little bit of that, but there's almost some Middle Eastern influences in there, too.
Yeah, we call it adventure indie rock.
Yeah.
We get kind of jammy. We do you'll hear some kind of self-contained indie rock bops coming up. I kind of got my musical training in Houston, so I played with a jazz group, the Free Radicals, that did a lot of world music, and so that's kind of where my tonality came from.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you guys are working on a new album to be released this fall?
To be released when Kins and I get together, track vocals, and then mix it. Yeah. Hopefully.
Are we recording it here in town?
Yeah, we went to the Blasting Room, did 2 days there. It's going to be an 8-song album. And then we're working with Ian. What is Owen's last name?
Phillips.
Owen Phillips. He's an engineer out of Nashville. He actually flew in and just really dug our sound. So he's just doing all of it because he wants to see this project happen. So we've got a full album. Baseline tracks sound great. We just need to add the rest of it.
You mentioned Houston earlier. Is that where you're from originally?
I'm originally North Carolina.
All right.
So, I grew up in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. School in Houston, lived in Houston, back to North Carolina, out here. Yeah, it's been a nice little weaving journey.
What eventually brought you to Northern Colorado?
Well, my wife and I have a 5-year-old, and when that 5-year-old was born, we said we don't want to raise a family in Houston. We want to be somewhere where we can play music and where we can go outside and do outdoorsy things and not have to wait in traffic constantly.
Sounds like most of the musicians I speak to, that's their reasoning for moving to Colorado. Anybody's reasoning for moving to Colorado, but especially musicians.
Yeah.
Lots of places to play.
Yeah, definitely.
You spend a lot of time at the Lyric.
I'm the
Theater?
Chaos Wrangler there. So official title. I'm a lot of the behind the scenes. Do a lot of the programming, kind of help make things function. I don't know. Ian and Kins also work there. What do I do at the Lyric?
A little bit of everything.
You wrangle chaos. That's completely accurate.
It's a great title.
But I think generally when I tell people that that's what you do, they look at me puzzled, and I say, he's the general manager. And they're like, oh, okay, got it.
I create chaos, and then I wrangle that chaos. So it's very...
Management.
like thinking of things conceptual.
When you create it, you can control
upper
it.
management,
So obviously you play great sax. You're going to play some electric ukulele here. That last song, of course, was Dance Macabre.
Yes.
Is that going to be on the new album?
Yes, it is. And that is currently on Spotify, an older version that we did. But we had this nice studio. We felt really good about the way we were playing. And so we actually retracked that song. So it's going to be a re-release of Dance Macabre.
Well, Big City Lights is your next tune. And you're going to be playing uke with a little wah-wah there.
Yeah. I like this guy.
Get some unique sounds out of that.
I hope I'm not offending any ukulele traditionalists. This is not...
Or wah-wah traditionalists.
Yeah, or saxophone traditionalists. I don't know.
Okay.
Probably.
Well, Cactus Cat here on Live at Lunch is going to tune us into
All right. right.
Little Big City Lights.
Ain't going back to that one room shack another night. Oh, can't you see that calling me? Big city lights, big city lights, big city lights, big city lights. When I'm gone, don't you cry for me. Until I see city lights, what a sight.
Big city lights, big city lights, big city lights, big city lights.
1, 2, high. Moving down the line, got no time. Well, that's right. Oh, can't you see that calling me? Big city lights, big city lights, big city lights, big city lights. When I'm gone, don't you cry for me. I can't stop until I see city lights. Oh, what a sight.
City lights, big city lights, big city lights, big city lights.
Early in the morning, that's all I dream about. Early in the evening, that's all I dream about. Early in the morning, that's all I dream about. Early in the evening, that's all I dream about. When I'm gone, don't you cry for me. I can't stop until I see city lights. Oh, what a sight.
Cactus Cat here on KRFC 88.9 FM's Live at Lunch. All right. So I'm going to speak with Mackenzie Tharp now. Mackenzie, how you doing?
Great, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Where are you from originally?
I'm actually from Missouri originally, around Kansas City. I moved here about 7 years ago.
What brought you out here?
I had an internship with CSU, with the sociology department, to finish out my master's degree. Nothing related to music.
He'd mentioned, Aaron mentioned just a little bit ago that you used to sing Valerie with, so I assume Amy Winehouse's version?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Love that version.
Yeah.
It's a great one.
And is that would you say your influences?
My influences are really all over the place. I do love a good soulful vocalist. I really love Tedeschi Trucks Band. It's one of my favorites. I'm also a big fan of Big Thief and some like other indie vocalists. But yeah, I'm kind of all over the place.
Is this your one and only band, or are you playing with anybody else?
I'm in another band called Two Headed Sweater, and that's more of an indie band. Yeah.
Two-Headed Sweater. Where are they out of?
Fort Collins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two-Headed Sweater is awesome.
Thank
They make
you.
Fantastic music. I really enjoy them.
God, don't usually get me on those. I haven't heard those guys. Are you relatively new?
Yes.
Okay.
You're a pandemic baby.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll get hip to it soon. So, when you guys are writing music, is there principal songwriters in the music? Is it Aaron and you, or are you guys all following Aaron, or how's things work out when you write music?
It's felt like a pretty collaborative process over the many forms of Cactus Cat. But yeah, Aaron or whoever will come to the group with an idea. I like to write lyrics, so that's something that I, gravitate towards. I also have been like tasked with melody writing, and it's really just been like kind of a free flowy writing process for a lot of it.
Yeah, I will point out that, and sorry, y'all, I'm going to jump in on all of your interviews.
Go ahead.
Our songwriting process has kind of changed as Cactus Cat has evolved. So the pre-pandemic version of Cactus Cat was a very collaborative. We would spend 3 weeks arguing over songs to reach a final product.
But came to a point where you couldn't all be together and work on things like that.
Not in a bad way. That sounded way harsher than I intended. But yeah, and so during the pandemic, I realized that musicians are going to be cycling out pretty consistently. So we made a lot of our songs simpler, and I started coming with a melody hook that people can do whatever they want underneath. So I think that kind of collaborative nature has stayed because either Kins or I will bring a song that doesn't need to have certain things. It can go in any direction, and we'll let everybody else kind of fill in with the style and with their own hooks and riffs and kind of make the song their own.
All right. Well, I was going to ask Mackenzie, when did you start getting into music then? Sounds like you're into sociology.
Oh, well, I've always been into music. I haven't been professionally like trained to play anything but the clarinet and marching band in middle school. But
So, middle school clarinet.
yes.
Yeah, that's okay.
A little bit of piano
lessons. So many
lessons.
musicians who started out with band in high school, or vocalists that started out with choir at church or whatever. Just seems to be a great motivator. Do you still play clarinet?
I sure don't. Not sure I could. Give it a go.
Might fit into this band. All right. So,
Kins,
go
I
ahead.
will say, Kins, if you ever bring a clarinet, you can rip it on any song you
Sounds
want.
good. Sounds like a dying goose.
Gonna hear some more originals. Wrong Side of Life. Is that another new one?
Yeah. So Wrong Side of Life I actually wrote after a friend drowned in town tubing the Poudre River. So I will take this opportunity to say that everybody should be aware of how dangerous the Poudre River can be. Do not tie tubes together, and make sure that you got someone in your group who knows how to get out of sticky situations.
And wear a life vest.
Yeah, I believe they may have
simple.
been wearing a life vest. It was a situation they got tied. It was, yeah. So this is
A lot of rocks that you don't see under the water.
Yeah, it is a very major body of water. So this is for that. I'm trying to remember the good times, 'cause I can't let them slip out of my mind. Thinking about those summer days in Rocky Mountain hideaways alone, getting lost. It was not supposed to be like this.
Cactus Cat here on KRFC's Live at Lunch. Sad but interesting song.
Yeah.
Knowing the motivation behind it.
Yeah, I try to keep it interesting.
So I'm going to speak now with Stephen Garrison on bass. How you doing?
Doing all right. How about you?
Great. So Stephen, did you always do electric? Did you start out with stand-up acoustic?
No, I'm pretty bad at the stand-up. I can do it and have, but I prefer not to, for my sake and everyone else's.
When did you get into bass?
My brother was always playing it, and so he was definitely.
Was he in bands?
Sorry?
He was in bands?
Yeah, he did jazz through school and played with his friends for sure. But he was definitely the one who like got me listening to the bass and is kind of the reason I actually play it now.
All right. Didn't start in school or anything like that?
No, I started on the drums in 4th grade. My dad taught me how to play the drums and like classical guitar, and then ended up switching to the bass in high school. And I also did trumpet and band.
Sounds like your family was musical, your father and your brother.
Yeah, it was mostly the three of us.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where'd you grow up?
Well, I was originally from the UK, but then I moved to Boulder when I was 6.
Mm-hmm.
Been there until college when I moved up here.
Lost your UK accent?
Yeah, I was too young.
It's okay.
It's cool.
I
He
never
doesn't
would
need
have
any more
guessed.
help with the
That's where you
ladies.
started life, huh?
It's really good I wasn't near the mic, so I was about to do baby noises in a UK accent. We should all be glad that we avoided that.
Honestly, though, Ian, it would still help.
Do you still have family there?
We actually, not any family that I am aware of, and we didn't when I lived
Was
there.
he in the military or something?
No, my dad kind of grew up in England, and so I guess they moved out there before I was born after both my parents finished their advanced degrees.
Mm-hmm. And as far as degrees, did you go to college yourself? Or?
I just graduated from CSU in May.
And doing what?
Electrical engineering with minors in physics and music.
Wow. So you got a smart one here in the group, it seems like.
Gotta watch out.
Double majors especially.
Aaron's also an engineer.
He was. He's
But you've got
left his evil ways
degrees.
behind.
In education and previous career choice only.
What's your musical influences?
My two favorite bands are Streetlight Manifesto and Wolfpack. So Joe Dart is my hero. I could go on, but I feel like those two really sum up my personality enough. Punk and funk.
Nothing wrong with that. Well, look at bands like the Red Hot Chili's. You know, they've had
Yeah.
excellence doing exactly that. So, is this the only band that you're in?
No, I'm in two other bands.
And what are they?
Hand Turkey, another Fort Collins
Oh, yeah.
band. That's
Familiar with them?
yeah, funk band. That's
Uh-huh.
us. And then I also play in a ska punk band called the Fists of the Proletariat.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of them too. All right.
I need to do a quick shout out about Hand Turkey. I think my funniest fact about Hand Turkey is like everyone who started the band plays trombone, but does not play trombone in that band. So
That is true. We have like 6 trombone players.
Who don't play trombone.
There's a lot of brass in that band. I've seen some videos, and there's 7 members or something.
9.
9.
but none of the brass are the trombone players. The rhythm section is all the trombone players.
I mean, really, the best part about that is they started Hand Turkey to get a smaller project than the Fists, and it's now bigger than the Fists.
That
So
is
he kind of
accurate.
failed at that.
Excellent. So, you've said your musical influences. Is there anybody here? You're in a couple local bands yourself. Is there bands that you're listening to here locally that you think we should be hip to?
Well, Denver-based band that is one of my favorites, Lavender Jones. I just played a show with them day before yesterday at the Globe Hall down in Denver.
What genre are they?
Kind of soul funk. They have that kind of groove that just seeps into your soul and doesn't let you not move. I don't know if that makes
Lavender
sense.
Jones.
But they're awesome.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What would you like to play for us next?
Next, we got a song called Sculptures.
And what's the story behind that?
So this one was written for a Make More Everything challenge that was done by Maxwell Treader early on in COVID times. And so the challenge was, we made 2 songs during that Make More Everything thing, so I'm trying to make sure I get them straight. So this one was just a standalone, you write, record a song completely by yourself in a week. So I did that by myself, playing like pitch down ukulele for the bass line with 2 saxophones. And the final version is existent, and this final version is significantly better.
Speaking of, just a quick question. How do you tune your uke? Do you tune it like a mandolin, GDAE, or?
Yeah, well, it's actually, so the ukulele is unique, and thank you for reminding me. I think this was your subtle way of being like, when's the last time you tuned that ukulele?
But just for the people listening.
Yeah, so it's GCEA, my dog has fleas.
Okay.
Yeah, so the highest note is on the top. If you have a baritone ukulele, then this top G is pitched down an octave. But top chord structures, you can do the same as a guitar. I'm very bad at guitar, so I only want to deal with 4 strings.
All right. Sculptures by Cactus Cat.
All right. Yeah, I'll start us off.
Sculptures wait and the features fade, and I'm wondering how you are. Are your eyes tired? Does your mouth still smile? Remember when we fought the world? We could weather this all together. If you want to come and fade with me, I would. Tall grass grows and the faces crack, and I just want to get back to your bright eyes, to your mouth still smiling, to when we still had fight. We could weather this all together. If you want to come and fade with me, we could rather do this together. If you want to come and fade with me, if you want to come and fade with me, I would.
All right, Cactus Cat here on KRFC 88.9 FM, streaming live on krfcfm.org. And of course, Live at Lunch is broadcast every Friday from noon to 1, 88.9 FM. Well, Ian Maxwell on drums, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Well, I'm fantastic. Better every day.
Better every day. Me too. I'm right there with
There you go.
Yeah.
Ian, is this your one and only band?
No, it sure isn't. I feel very much so the blight of drummers being in high demand.
Mm-hmm.
So I play here with Cactus Cat. I also play in the Fist of the Proletariat with Steven.
Good.
And currently, me and Steven are also trying to start another group with, some people from Hand Turkey and then us. And then,
What type of genre is that going to be?
we'll
have
let you
no
know when we
idea.
get it started. We've been trying to get that up and running. We've had one rehearsal so far. Probably also going to follow along the lines of that neo soul funk, somewhere along those lines. And we're also, sit in with a lot of bands whenever I am called. I sit in.
You always been a drummer?
I have always been a drummer. Yeah.
When did that start?
Well, so my grandpa and my dad were both drummers. I have a very musical family, so pretty much as soon as I could think about being a person, I was picking up drumsticks.
Seriously? When was your first drum set?
I actually didn't get my first drum set until I moved to Denver, which was when I was probably 13 or so.
Were you playing your dad's drums or whatever before that?
Yeah, I would play my dad's drums. I'd play just on the floor. I'd play stuff like that. I started out in middle
Practice
school
pads.
band like we all did. So I played, and I actually, funny story, my middle school band teacher was like, I think that you look like a trombone player. So, really we're just more trombonists here. But I told her, I was like, you know what? No, my dad's a drummer. I'm a drummer. I'm going to be a drummer. And she put me through a pretty, simple to standards now, but a rigorous test to me at the time of making sure that I could play some stuff with my hands and my feet. That she was like, tell you what, if you can do this, I'll let you be a drummer. And I sat there and I concentrated. And I did it for about 2 seconds. And she was like, okay, you win. And so I did that, did marching band. I'm a full-on percussionist. I'm not just a drummer. So I played marimba. I went through marching band, drum corps. I taught drum corps for a while. Got my degree from CSU. Played a lot of percussion, lots of marimba, lots of stuff like that, but always kind of kept coming back to drums.
Where are you from originally?
Phoenix originally. Moved to Colorado when I was about 9.
I'd say a little cooler here, but this year
Not
it hasn't
anymore.
been.
No,
Not in this studio.
Yeah. Honestly, this summer was very much like
Brutal.
I was like, man, I thought I got away from this, but here we are.
What brought you from Phoenix to Fort Collins? Was it CSU?
Yeah, so I moved to Greeley originally. So,
UNC?
No, I was 9 years old. Moved to Greeley, had family there. Moved to Denver.
Prodigy.
Lived in Lakewood for 11 years, and then moved up here for CSU. Yeah.
Okay. And you said your family was musical. Did your father play in bands and your grandfather play in bands, or they just were drummers?
Yeah, they played in bands. My dad most notably played with the Dana Matthews Band based in Phoenix. Played a lot of stadiums and stuff like that, and then he kind of gave up on his dreams of being a career drummer after he played in a stadium and realized he still wasn't making enough money. So he moved to the middle of nowhere in Georgia and started a sign shop, and there he is. So, and my grandpa was just he did military band, and he wasn't in any other bands really after that. But
what were your influences growing up as far as music?
a lot of my influences honestly started in metal. In metal and more classic rock. Pink Floyd was one of my first influences, and then it was also Lamb of God. So, I kind of go all over the place. I think that probably Danny Carey of Tool is one of my biggest influences as a drummer. Mm-hmm. Absolutely amazing drummer that brings everything together that you'd really ever need from an influence, And then more recently, I've listened to a lot more neo-soul stuff, Hiatus Kaiyote, Moonchild, and a lot more ska, because I joined the Fists of the Proletariat and was like, I don't really know much about ska. And man, do I love Streetlight Manifesto as well. So,
well, I'll ask you that other question I tend to ask everybody. Is there some local bands that you're listening to that maybe we should get turned on to?
There really, really should be more that I have looked into. The biggest ones that I have noticed so far, I really, really have enjoyed Costanza. I very highly recommend Costanza. Our buddy Maxwell Treader that did that project that Aaron was talking about is roommates with Jack Costanza, and he was like, yo, you got to check these guys out. I was like, wow, these guys are a lot of fun. Other than that, I wish I had an exhausstive list,
No,
but
that's great.
I'm really bad at band names most of the time. That's what
you're
I've found.
playing in so
here we
many
are.
too.
Yeah.
It's hard to recommend yourself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna chime in here and say that we are playing Endless Fest next Saturday, and that entire
Yes.
lineup is full
Killer.
of incredible local bands.
Endless Fest is Saturday.
The 27th, so
27th.
tomorrow from when this airs.
And speaking of that, what other is that the upcoming show for you guys, or do you have stuff coming up beyond that?
So we got a little gap in September that we might fill, we might not. And then in October, we are playing a show with Bevan Luna and Mama Honey on October 14th. And then
And where's that at?
At the Lyric.
Okay.
And then on the 27th, and I haven't run this by the guys yet, but there's a strong possibility we'll be doing a Cataween at the Lyric as well with the Cat Calls and the Kitty Project.
What's the best place for people, Aaron, to get information on Cactus Cat as far as upcoming shows, where to obtain your music, things like that?
We are definitely most active on Instagram. So
Uh-huh.
Instagram is the best spot to stay in the know. Our website is existent, but is not regularly updated, and we're hit and miss on Facebook. So Instagram consistently.
And it's just Cactus Cat on Instagram.
Cactus Cat Band.
All right, so Countless Nights is coming up here,
Yeah.
and that's on the new album too?
Actually, no. But then we realized afterwards, like, oh, we should have recorded that for the new album.
Maybe it's a 9-song album instead of 8 songs now.
Yeah, this is. We'll see what happens. This is one. Each of the different verses is about a different relationship, and one of them is my D&D crew. So I'll let you guess which one.
Countless nights awake, just thinking of the stormy days he's bringing. Is it wrong to want it all undone? It's not too late to excuse the way he leaves you feeling used. Oh, falling out is harder than falling in. She wants to start all over again. She wants to start all over again. Go back to bright skies and dreamy days and clear blue eyes and leave all this behind. Starkly now, she sees the form that has been trapped inside these walls. When there is no one else to call his absence and to go rid of it all. She wants to start over again. She wants to start over again. Go back to bright skies and dreamy days and clear blue eyes and leave all this behind.
Cactus Cat live here on KRFC's Live at Lunch. All right. What's the story behind that one?
It's songs about breakups and relationship troubles, and each of the verses is about a different relationship or breakup trouble.
Yeah. Is that where you get your motivation? You have a lot of bad relationships?
No, I mean, I did. I'll be honest, my young 20s was a little but I don't know, just take it from life, take it from existing. I like to write lots of songs that have themes about just time and the passage of time, and it's kind of interesting to see how something can be stagnant and then something else is changing radically, and then they look at each other in 6 months and they're completely different, whether it's a creative project or a personal relationship or whatever. So there's a lot of themes about the passage of time in these songs.
What's the best place you guys had, most memorable place you've had a chance to play as a band so far?
That's a good question. We
I say that doesn't necessarily apply to band yet, but
yeah.
but soon.
Yeah, this. Yeah, number one. We played at the Islands, which was a lot. Oh yeah.
Where's that?
I don't know, southish. It's in town.
It's Island
just
Lake
south-
is what it's called.
Oh,
Island
right there
Lake.
on I-25. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
mean-
I-25 in Harmony.
Private party.
Yeah, they have these rentable islands, and it's just like this tiki paradise in the middle of Fort Collins. And so we just played a 4-hour surf set. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys are flexible as far as what you're playing, as far as style and.
Absolutely, yes.
Slightly.
All right. So, do you? Your goal is obviously to get your album out here. That's this fall, and again, the best Instagram would be the best place for people to follow you to find out when exactly that's going to be coming out,
Absolutely.
and when you'll have I assume an album release show and all that.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a good chance it's going to be at the Lyric.
I thought so, but didn't want to assume.
I went through a brief period of not booking Cactus Cat at the Lyric at all, and then I'm like, wait, what am I doing? I want to play here all the time because it's also one of my favorite venues in town.
Well, it's a great place to see live music and great movies.
Yeah.
And great art.
And art.
And great food.
And great sunsets.
And great drinks.
Great drinks.
They should be paying you guys extra to pump the place there.
They are, don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm clocked in right now.
Do I get a cut?
Absolutely not.
Free
You can get out of
Sammys.
here, Steven.
Well, Ben Markle, you're the newest member of the group. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
All right, I'm great. Where are you from?
I'm from Idaho Springs, Colorado.
Ah,
Yes, sir.
one of the few Colorado natives, huh?
I guess so. Yeah, I didn't realize.
That's new information. I didn't know people were from there.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
there's not many of us running around. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
How'd you get hooked up with the band here?
Honestly, just running into Aaron all the time at the Lyric or at shows. And I'd go to Cactus Cat shows pretty consistently. And we had my other band played a show with Cactus Cat at the bowling alley here in town.
820 North?
8:30.
830 North, sorry about that.
And Aaron jumped on a tune with us, and I don't know, we've just been chit-chatting since then. And he's like, hey, I need a guitar player for some shows in August, and bada bing, bada boom.
So speaking of other bands, in addition to Cactus Cat, you're playing with...
I play with a band called Muckluck, Muckluck.
Yeah, it's from Alaska, isn't it?
No, see, we have people asking us if we're
All
the
the
boot
time.
company, and I have to tell them, no, we
Canadian?
don't sell any boots. We're a
No.
rock band.
That's all
Can
right.
you please get some swag that's boots?
I can work on it. We'll
right,
see what I
cool.
can do. Yeah, I'll talk to the
All
boys.
So what were you listening to when you were growing up?
When I was growing up, I was listening to bluegrass and blues. I was surrounded by music my whole life, and that's really kind of where it all started. I learned blues guitar from just
Is that the scene in Idaho Springs? Bluegrass and blues?
yeah, pretty much. That's what I would say. A lot of folk music is out there. They
Yeah.
used to do the Empire Blues Festival every year,
Oh, yeah.
way back in the day. So I've always been around those people growing up, and that's kind of where it started. I was like rock and roll, blues, bluegrass. I had some metal influences too. I used to think I was gonna be in a metal band, and then
It's amazing how many bluegrass musicians I talk to, and you ask them what they originally listened to, and there's like speed metal. It's like what?
Makes
And
sense.
it
It kinda makes
translates
sense,
into
yeah.
the fast playing, and
Yeah.
that's exactly how they transitioned from that into bluegrass, which still amazes me.
It's kind of similar to how people look at me really weird when I'm like, well, I was really into metal as a kid, so I really, really like classical music. And they're like, what? And I'm like, no, it makes sense. I
Yeah,
promise.
exactly.
It really does.
Whether you appreciate the music or not, it makes total sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So fun story. I did play in high school briefly in a metal band, Barry Sax, and it was
really, what?
the band was called Fashionably Late.
That's a great name.
And what did you play in that band?
Oh, Barry Sax.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it was really weird. There's,
Can we bring that one back? Can we just say that we're all new members of Fashionably Late also? New band coming out, guys.
I'll reach out to him.
All right, Ben. So how long have you been with the band now?
Oh gosh, like 2 weeks or something like that.
Oh, seriously?
I think we're going on 5 hours.
When you say new edition, we aren't kidding here, are we?
Yeah, brand new.
You must have jammed a lot of practice into those last 2 weeks.
I did as much as I could. It was tough. This week has just been insane for me too. But we got one practice in before we came here.
Well, you're doing great. You never would have known.
Thanks, appreciate it. Yeah.
Well, what are you going to treat us to next? Is it Bad Friday?
It is Bad
Seems
Friday.
appropriate since we're live at lunch on a Friday afternoon.
Yeah, I hope you're having a good Friday, though.
Well, before we start this is kind of a medley into Shapeshifter, right?
Yes, indeed. And just so I know, what's our time in?
We've got about 11 minutes left, so we're
fantastic.
about right there. And before we start, I'd like to thank Chris Winslow and Eric Delano, who are our video people today, and Chrissy Pilley and Colton Boening, who's doing our audio. And they all do a fantastic job every live at lunch. We appreciate them very much. And would you guys like to add anything before you go into your last set here?
Stephen was going to say something. Okay. We'll listen to Stephen.
Well, he's going to hold his tongue, he says.
Fantastic.
All right, well, it's been great having
Best case scenario.
Cactus Cat here on KRFC's Live at Lunch. You can always view all the videos from all our Live at Lunch acts on our KRFC RadioVision YouTube channel. We encourage you to go there and subscribe. It helps not only the station, it helps the musicians very much so when it comes to promotion and obviously enjoyment. Cool. Thanks for coming in today, folks.
Thanks for having us.
All right.
Yeah.
Cactus Cat.
This has been awesome. All right. Bad Friday.
Oh, how we get through, blaming our faults on the moon. Oh, how we get, oh, humble our stars, reminding us always just how small we are. Oh, how we get. I took him up to that spot on the rise. I couldn't tell him I'm most of worth. That was a bad day, a bad week of mine. Just keep it light now, don't be too much. Pushing it down till the pressure makes the diamonds within me to heal this to know. This is so fragile, don't know who to trust. How long does it take? Well, how deep was the pain? Oh, how we get through, blaming our faults on the moon. Oh, how we get, oh, humble us liars, reminding us always just how small we are. Oh, how we get. To that spot on the rise, I couldn't tell him I'm most of all.
Thank you for listening to Live at Lunch, and thank you to the Music District here in the heart of Fort Collins, Colorado. Live at Lunch is produced by KRFC 88.9 FM in the Ginger and Baker studio. If you'd like to appear on Live at Lunch, email our music director, David Vacek, at david@krfcfm.org.